More than 40,000 Americans die by suicide each year. September is National Suicide Prevention Month, and that brings some attention to where Alabama falls in the rankings. Suicide rates have been increasing nationally and in the state of Alabama. It's the 10th leading cause of death among all Americans and the second leading cause among young Americans from ages 10 to 24 years old. According to a study published by Alabama Department of Public Health, rates have increased almost 22% between 1999 and 2016. We met up with Monretta Vega, a licensed counselor and suicide prevention specialist. She says that there's often a stigma around the type of person who would decide to commit suicide, but that's simply untrue.
Just like any mental illness, we can't look at someone and say, oh, that person looks suicidal. Age, race, location, it just kind of goes across the board. So anyone can actually think about suicide and anyone can complete suicide, depending on where their thought process is.
A shocking statistic here, the state of Alabama is ranked second nationally in the number of veteran deaths by suicide. The U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs released in their latest study that the Alabama veteran suicide rate was 34.4, exceeding the state suicide rate of 20.5 and the national suicide rate of 17.5.
With the veterans, there's a culture shock. You know, it is something that we have to be more mindful to, and getting the help that they honestly need and deserve is not as easy as we may think. A lot of times coming back from war or even seeing some of the trauma and tragedy that they saw and witnessed sticks with them. We have to be mindful that PTSD is real, and it can be something that can happen in the day and at night, and it just impacts your life totally.
We also met with Crisis Services of North Alabama, an organization right here in Huntsville that's available for those who may be having thoughts of suicide or have experienced the grief it brings.
There's a taboo associated with people who have suicided, and it's been told to us that survivors of someone else's suicide, that even their close family and friends don't bring up the loved one's death because it was by suicide. And so the support group not only addresses that, but it's just a sense of community to help heal from a death by suicide.
Putting the Valley First, Cindy Stallworth, WZDX News.